Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us what you've seen and what you think the American people need to know about.
Bob, what the American people need to know is this is absolutely a humanitarian crisis that's taking place here at our southern border. And it's because of the Biden regime and their policies that have planned this, encouraged it, and incentivized it. There's no end in sight. I have spoke with Border Patrol agents. They want to return to the Trump-era policies because for 4 years, things were getting increasingly better here at the southern border because we were actually securing our southern border and we were funding our Border Patrol agents. Now, there has been no added funding. They have been stripped of mechanisms that actually work, like arrow dart balloons and even cameras at drawbridges. There's no funding for this, so they're wanting to remove them. And we have hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens crossing our southern border. Border Patrol agents are completely overwhelmed, even though they had a plan to take in these folks that are coming across the border, but then they got punched in the face. It's really hard to stay positive and do your job when you don't have the funding and you're completely overrun. I was down at the Donna detention facility just yesterday, and I saw moms carrying their children swaddled in Mylar blankets. We have a border czar who has not been here for 70 days. She has not made a single appearance here at the southern border. She needs to look these children in the eyes, look their mothers in the eyes, and tell them that it is their policies that are encouraging this behavior.
Yeah, so Vice President Harris hasn't been there. President Biden hasn't been there. Congresswoman Boebert, I was looking at some of the social media posts that you've made since you made the trip down there, and one of them in particular struck me. I'm not sure if you shot it or not, but it was video of a bus that was taking these illegal immigrants and transporting them free of charge further into the country to cities all across the United States.
Heather, this is what we were greeted with, a bus full of illegal migrant children being transported all throughout our country. There are currently hotels that have no big contracts with the government that are housing these aliens in their facilities, and the taxpayers are paying for it. Every 15 minutes, this bus picks up another load of children and takes them to facilities. There's other folks that are getting on this bus as well. HHS agents actually tried to kind of hide what was going on and even say that it was staff that are being bussed into the facility that are parked outside of the facility, but that's not true. We saw children being put in staff shirts and loaded onto the vans, onto these big, huge buses, and then being taken off the grounds. It was kind of like a shell game when walking through the HHS facility. They didn't want us to take photos in there. They didn't want us to take videos. I was able to capture some footage of what takes place. And one of the things that was most interesting was the classrooms, the in-person learning that has taken place, that these children, these boys who are in this HHS facility, ages 13 to 17, each have one staff member assigned to them. The ratios are incredible when we don't have in-person learning in American schools. They have smart boards. They all have laptop computers. And they're learning basic math skills, not even Common Core or critical race theory like our schools are teaching our children. They're getting a real education here at the border.
Yeah, Congresswoman, who are you down there with? And when you talk to Border Patrol, what do they tell you?
I'm down here with Congressman Michael Cloud and Congressman Byron Donalds, and we're listening to the agents, and every person that we have come into contact with says that they want to return back to these Trump-era policies because the Biden policies are not working and they're overwhelmed. The thing that they're most concerned about is Title 42 being pulled. They know that this is going to happen. Title 42 allows them to turn away single adults and send them back to Mexico. But once this Title 42 is pulled, we're going to see 1,800 illegal aliens per day coming into our country, and we're keeping them here and we're distributing them all across our nation. We're busing them, we are housing them, we're putting them on airplanes and sending them all throughout our country. They are not going back to Central America. They are not going back to Mexico. They're not going back to China. They are staying right here in our country, and that's what's most alarming to the Border Patrol agents that we are speaking with. They've seen an increase, of course, of human smuggling, drug smuggling, gun smuggling, and they say that it's only getting worse. Maybe the facilities are less occupied, but that's just because they're being shipped all throughout the country. It doesn't mean that the crisis is ending or lessening.
Yeah.
So what do they need?
They need support from us. They need funding, first of all, and they need a secure border. In McAllen, Texas, I was down here in the Rio Grande Valley, and they were promised a certain amount of border wall, and they still have 89 miles to go. But construction is halted under the Biden regime and those policies under that executive order that he signed on day one. There is no more construction of the border wall, and they need those 89 miles so they can be in control of their border. One agent can patrol a secure border, but when it's unsecure, they need at least 5 agents.
Yeah.
They don't have the manpower, they don't have the funding, and they don't have the wall.
Well, Congressman Boebert, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you stay safe down there and keep informing people as far as what's going on, and we appreciate you doing it with us.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.